If you're a researcher, you know the pressure to publish is absolutely immense. You've probably even thought about using a writing service to get an edge. But here's the thing, what looks like a smart move could actually be a landmine for your career. So how do you get help without crossing a really dangerous ethical line?
So you're looking at your manuscript and you're thinking, man, I could really use some help polishing this. It's a totally normal thought. Everyone wants to boost their chances of getting into those top-tier journals. But before you hit upload, there's a really important question you've got to ask yourself first. Because the line between getting some legitimate editing help and committing a major ethical foul is razor thin. And if you get it wrong, the consequences can be serious. So today, we're going to walk that line together and make sure you stay on the right side of it.
Okay, let's start with the absolute foundation, the one rule that has to guide every single decision you make here, and that is academic integrity. You can think of it as your North Star for this whole publishing journey.
When it comes right down to it, academic integrity is just honesty. It means your work is yours. When you hire a service, their job is to make your language shine, to improve the clarity, maybe fix the formatting, but the ideas, the data, the conclusions, that's all you. That's your intellectual contribution, and it has to stay that way.
Let's put it this way. A service can help you paint the house, but you have to be the architect. They can polish the language, but they can't provide the science. The second someone else starts writing your content for you, or, and this is a big one, suggests changing your results, you've stumbled into ghostwriting, and that's a line you just can't uncross. Because at the end of the day, your reputation is built on trust.
So we've got our golden rule, but let's be real. Where do people actually get tripped up? Knowing the specific traps is just as important as knowing the principles. Think of these as the big, bright red lines on the map that you can never, ever cross.
All right, here are the 4 big ones, the real career killers. Now we all know plagiarism and making up data are huge no-nos, but some of these are a little sneakier. Take self-plagiarism. That's basically recycling your own published work without telling anyone. It's a problem because it makes it seem like you're contributing more new information than you really are. And manipulating your data, cherry-picking the good results, just as bad. And look at the consequences. We're not just talking about a rejection letter. We're talking about getting your articles retracted, being banned from journals, and putting a permanent black mark on your career.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Your best defense is just being transparent. It is so much better to be honest about imperfect findings than to risk everything on a shortcut. Authenticity is what earns you respect in the long run.
Okay, so you've weighed the options and you've decided to use a service, but you're committed to doing it ethically. Fantastic. Now let's talk about putting on your armor. This part is all about the practical steps you need to take to protect your work.
Before you attach that file to an email, just stop and think for a second about what you're sending. This isn't just a document. It's your unpublished, confidential work. It's your intellectual property. And if it falls into the wrong hands, it could be stolen or leaked. You've got to be proactive here.
So here's your 4-step security checklist, and these are non-negotiable. First, always get a signed non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. If they won't sign one, that's a deal breaker. It's that simple. Second, use a secure way to share files. Sending it over regular email is like leaving a copy on a park bench. Third, find out exactly who is working on your paper and check their qualifications. And finally, once it's all done, get it in writing that they have permanently deleted your files.
And just so we're crystal clear, this is what's at stake, your intellectual property, your IP. These are the legal rights to your own creations, and when you're working with any outside service, that ownership can never, ever be compromised.
This all gets hammered out in the contract, and it needs to say in no uncertain terms that you keep 100% of your IP rights. Now here's a huge red flag. If a service ever asks for co-authorship, run. Don't walk, run away. That is a massive ethical breach. The contract should be super clear on what they're going to do and when, and you need to read every single word, especially any copyright agreements.
But hang on a second. What if there's a different way to go about this? Commercial services aren't the only game in town. Let's look at some other options that can get your paper published and make you a stronger researcher in the process.
Let's compare these 2 paths. On one side, you've got commercial services. It's a transaction. You pay money, you get a polished paper. But on the other side, you've got things like mentorship and peer review. The relationship there is collaborative. The goal isn't just a finished product, it's about building your skills. So the outcome isn't just a polished manuscript, it's a polished manuscript and a better, more capable you.
Now, of course, these alternatives have their own challenges. Finding a great mentor isn't always easy, and the quality of peer review can be a mixed bag.
But look at the advantage column. Every single one of these options is designed to build your skills for the long haul. That's an investment that'll pay off for your entire career.
Ah, right. We've covered the core principles, the dangerous pitfalls, how to protect yourself, and the other paths you can take. So now, it all comes down to the choice you make as an author.
If you only remember one thing from all this, make it this. Ethical help makes you a better researcher. Unethical shortcuts can destroy your career. One path builds you up, the other can take everything away. When you put it like that, the choice is pretty obvious, isn't it?
And that's the real prize here. Doing things the right way isn't just about dodging bullets and avoiding rejection. It's about fulfilling the real mission of science, to add something meaningful, something honest to what we all know as a community.
So, as you get ready to submit your next paper, I want to leave you with this question. Every single manuscript you publish makes a statement, not just about your research, but about your values. So the only question left is, what kind of statement do you want to make?